Don't say anything bad. I'm about to start recording. Um, any questions? Just let me know.
I'll just wait till you start recording, guys. He's
Yeah.
like, don't you dare say
Any
that about
questions
Canada
about
again.
that stuff? Leave to some time other, so I don't have to take it out like I did when Bo said his son's name the other day, and he wanted me to remove it.
Oops.
So, okay. 3, 2, 1. All right, this is a playtest for Heroes and Hardships using the core content module and the base module for Heroes and Hardships. I'm gonna read something. Okay, let me see. Everybody should see that. Please let me know if you don't. You know, one thing I gotta
I
do
see
though.
it.
I gotta do something real quick. Bear with me 1 second. Technical difficulties. Let's probably pop up again. This is for my. Okay, there we go. Welcome to the Blightlands. None of you are alive when the lands were blighted. None of you have known anything other than the mist that swirls everywhere, blotting out the sun, killing crops, and obscuring light. 107 years ago, there was a magical surge that caused great destruction, and in its wake, the constant fog, cold, and increased activity of the unclean, wicked beasts and monsters. The Order of St. Eustace. Long before the Blight came, the Order of St. Eustace rose from the ashes of a holy war. The polytheistic lands raged as men fought for their gods. This warfare was chaos. Thousands upon thousands died, but a cleric of an unnamed god brought peace with his sermons and his hammer. If neighbors worshipped a different god, there was to be peace. And so it was for many long centuries. Initially, the Order of St. Eustace was formed to aid in keeping peace, but eventually it grew largely to protect against monstrous threats that seemed to grow in frequency and power. Long years later, the Order of St. Eustace found themselves too successful at their duty. Lords stopped funding their order as they no longer had creatures to slay and people to protect. The Lord's men at arms kept peace, and the monsters faded from memory. This forced the Order of St. Eustace to begin deviating from the initial intent, serving as mercenaries in foreign wars. When the Blight came, this holy order found themselves decimated from war with nothing to show for their bravery except death. They were paupers, and now monsters begin to show themselves again. The Order of St. Eustace was woefully unprepared for what lied ahead. Current day. You have joined the Order of St. Eustace. Perhaps it is because you wish to continue their traditions, or perhaps you have no other choice. Regardless, the days and nights are difficult. You scrape for every copper penny you can earn. Do you forsake your honor and your vows? Did they mean anything when you cannot afford to eat? Each man must decide for themselves. So, let me get you to the correct screen. It's this one, I think. It's being a little slow. Okay. All right. Should not stop. So you have been traveling through the Blight on a ranging. Um, these rangings typically consist of primarily trying to find work, to aid your holy order and bring some money in to help feed yourselves and the others that are there. Also, it is likely that you could potentially find something to fulfill your vows with, aka helping people, killing monsters, that sort of thing. You've been just traveling around the Blight and you heard a strange rumor about a town called Houndsgrove that none of you have really ever been to in the Blight, and you have gotten directions to this area, and you're just traveling along the road currently, and the rumors that you have heard about Houndsgrove is that um, there is complaints of a wanton spirit there, and someone that is potentially something that you could do to perhaps not only earn some coin but also um, perhaps fill your complete a vow, which is to destroy monsters. So you are heading there and through the Blight, and it's you don't really know exactly what time it is. Usually, it seems about the same, no matter what time it is. You assume it's in the day. Sometime there might be just a little bit more light than what you're used to, and you guys can go ahead as you're riding and walking through this area. Just kind of introduce yourselves and who you are, and um, just role play a little bit amongst yourselves as we get started.
Kick off. So Derek is he is usually the guide when the group when knights venture this far. He's strictly speaking a member of the order, but he never seems to really regard himself as a knight. He is average height, wiry kind of build, surprisingly tough, but he always looks hollow-cheeked and a little gaunt. His voice is a little sort of rasping. His clothes are kind of old and patched, but serviceable. But he always seems to know his way through the Blight. You know that he, as a kind of teenager, he survived out here in the Blight-haunted wilds for quite a while by himself, and he's quite self-sufficient. He keeps himself to himself quite a lot. But although he comes across as someone very much out for himself, actually that's not the case, and he's surprisingly altruistic when it really comes down to it.
I'll go next. Seth recently, probably within the last few months, joined with the Order of St. Eustace. Scarred in ragged garb. He has a lot of scarring on his face, his arms, back. Deep wounds across his forehead down into his neck. He is a healer, works within the whatever would qualify as an infirmary for the order, a medicus. He believes in a a god outside of these lands. He has been to faraway places. Um, over, I believe, Tet, you said there's a mountaintop and a desert to the east of it.
Yeah, that's fine.
And he brings his faith from those places back to the Blight. He hasn't spoken too much about any personal motivations coming here. It's very much just, I've come back here to give what aid I can to those who are suffering. At this point, you've all been around him enough to know that he has a bit of a nasty habit in the mornings where he more or less whips himself for 15-20 minutes across the back with his barbed horsewhip that he has. He does not speak about it, but it is a daily occurrence. He, again, mostly keeps to himself, but he is not unwilling to conversation. He tends to speak a great deal about his faith, particularly for the great sufferer, the bloodied unbroken, he who holds the world upon his back, the great god Algus. He is always happy to talk about that. But that is Seth.
And Sir Oberyn Selborn, he brings up the rear of the group, riding on his black war horse named Black Jack. He likes to follow along the rest of the group, keeping an eye on their backs, always looking around. He's a tall man, approximately 6 foot, 240 pounds, just a big guy, and he is, atop his horse, and he's coming from distant wars where he got his knighthood, came home and had tragedy befall him when his niece was murdered, and that's how he found his way into the order and under the care of Saint Eustace. It was, at the bottom of a cup of mug when he couldn't take it anymore and thought about ending everything, is when he found the order, ended up joining, and ended up with this lot. He's most notable for the 2 battle axes that hang off the sides of his horse. He's a tall, gruff man who is willing to do his duty and only knows his duty, and that is to fight for St. Eustace.
The last of the group is a younger member by the name of Nevin. He's also the newest member of the order, showing up not too long ago with a buckler and a sword, a hooded cloak, and little else. He seems friendly enough, though he tended to keep to himself in the beginning, seeking only refuge and a chance to join the order and prove himself. He has proven capable over these last couple of weeks and is anxious to prove his worth to his fellow order members as he heads out on this mission.
Yeah, as you are, traveling through this area, you guys want to give me a perception roll? You can do that. Click on attributes and skills, scroll down to where it looks like there's buttons, and then go over to your senses and then click on the little scroll for perception. Now, do realize that you at least have one sensory impediment here. Even if you have torches, it doesn't matter. Sensory impediments will give you. So if it's a level 1, let's see, what is that? Level 1 sensory impediment is, oops, right by it. So I think, yeah, you take -3 to this. So when you open it, it'll say a mod put a -3 in there. I'm going to just do a test roll with Sir Oberyn real quick. This doesn't count. This is just me. So you put a -3 in that mod area, and then it should look something like that. So if you guys want to do that.
What's the difficulty?
Difficulty would be 15.
Okay, is that mundane, challenging?
It is challenging. You do not have to set a difficulty when you roll. You can.
Okay, I didn't set a difficulty the first time.
Yeah. So like if you look at Seth, you set the difficulty and it'll show you kind of what the total is. Nevin and Sir Oberyn did pretty well. So what you see is as you're coming through here, you see the telltale signs of maybe an ancient battle. There's you do see actually some like armor halfway sticking out of the ground, mostly grown over by ancient trees and brush and that sort of thing. You even do catch the sight of skeletons, that are, just laying on the ground in the same state as some of the armor and weapons and that sort of thing. So anybody who passed that.
I accidentally rolled persuasion instead of perception.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that makes more sense, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I was gonna say our guide and tracker.
yeah, can't see.
Yeah, I was like, why is it rolled to keep one? That just seems wrong.
Yeah. So make sure. So no one did this except Nevin did it and Seth did it. Is in your global modifier there. It should be a -3. It doesn't matter because I can just eyeball it, but just keep that in mind.
I did that the first time.
Yeah, I saw.
The -2.
So
and
but that's
I was
how you
re-rolling
use
just
it
to check
in
the
there.
dice.
There's a where it says modifier. I can just post a just so you can see where it is. Like if I do this, let me just. So I'm gonna post this in Discord just so you can see. Where's this channel? So it should look like that, and you'll see where it says mod there. So that's you would put a -3 in there. So yeah, go ahead. What do you do? Nevin, Derek, and Oberyn, you are aware of this. Seth, you're pretty oblivious.
Nevin is on foot, trudging along, and he kind of looks and notices the armor, and then notices maybe a forearm or arm, skeletal hand sticking out of the ground, and he stops, kneels down, kind of gliding his hand over the grass, looking around, realizing that this was some sort of ancient battlefield and something of great importance in a time long forgot had taken place here. And he kind of looks up to his companions and nods at the telltale signs of battle.
And Sir Oberyn nods back, understanding what he's acknowledging, what he's seeing from atop his horse. He has a pretty good view as well, and he can see the old battlefield, the remains, the skeletal remains and equipment. So he just kind of keeps an eye out as he looks around the group and walks alongside the rest of them on top of Blackjack.
Have I known, places like this? There's a lot of death.
Mm-hmm.
Since the I guess not since the Blacks have grown up with it, but do we tend to find the dead walking quite a lot, or is it
like
an
undead?
infrequent
Yeah, there are swaths of undead that do move around from time to time.
Yeah. Okay, so Derek's very alert here because if anything like that happens, there's going to be a lot of bodies. So he's immediately wary, listening, watching for any movement in the fog that's not just the fog itself.
Seth completely oblivious to the battlefield around them, not seeing any of the unspoken exchanges, just kind of continues to saunter, just a very casual, like, half smile on his face.
And Sir Oberyn, seeing Seth just kind of strolling along, noticing the wariness and the keen looks on everyone else's face, he pulls up next to Seth and just kind of lets out a whistle, and just lets him know to keep his eyes out as he points to the areas that have the remains and the old signs of battlefield, just to make Seth aware.
Yeah, Seth will stop and look. Oh, this is perhaps hallowed ground then.
A lot of death. A lot of bodies. Lot could get up and move again. And Derek's just looking all around. He's not really making good eye contact with you while he's speaking. He's mainly just watching the whole area, and he seems wary, perhaps even unsettled.
And Sir Oberyn will kind of trot ahead of the group just a little bit, just to get a better idea of what might be in the shroud, in the mist, prior to having his comrades walk into it.
At first, you push forward and you don't see anything out of the ordinary. But if you want to give me another perception, let's go check.
Everyone?
This one's gonna no,
Minus
just
3 again, or?
Sir Oberyn, and make this one hard, difficulty hard. So it'd be 20. Going against a 20, and you get a -3.
It says you have the wrong token selected. Don't I have the right token selected?
I don't know. Whose token do you have selected?
I have mine. That's the only one I can open up, right?
Token is not a
Are you on
character sheet,
Blackjack?
so it would be on the map. You click yourself, then if you double click yourself,
Yeah, that's what I did.
and
And then I
try
go down to senses, down to perception, down to the scroll. I click it, and it says you have the wrong token selected for this actor sheet.
Are you sure you have yourself selected or the horse? I don't.
It says Sir Oberyn. It's got my artwork and my character and my stats.
So on the map, you have your token actually selected, right? You click on it, and it gives a yellow box around it, correct?
Correct.
And then double click it, and it should bring up your character sheet, correct?
It does, correct.
Okay, now try to roll with that, and I'm just.
It says you have the wrong token selected for this actor sheet. When I try and click on that, on perception, after opening it up via the. Maybe I can open it up another way.
I don't know. I've never, unless you click on someone else and then.
No, I have Sir Oberyn highlighted with a gold box. Yeah, it's not letting me hit perception on him. I can send you a picture to it.
Yeah, please.
Or I put it in the Discord.
You have the wrong token selected for this actor sheet. Okay, let me try something. Try that one instead. The one I just put out on the...
There it goes. That worked.
Okay, it must have been... That's... yeah.
All right, so what's the difficulty? I'm sorry.
20. Hard. Okay. Yeah, you see, so that would be with a -3, which is 26. It's fine. You see, as you kind of, as Blackjack kind of canters forward, you see some of the strange movement. You squint out into the swirling mist, and you could swear you see movement, but you're not really sure. It's like more towards the ground, and it seems to be quite a bit. When you look forward and ahead, you see it's clear, so you could ride through this area, but there's something that seems slightly amiss, perhaps.
Okay, so Sir Oberon, he whistles again to the other guys, and uses his fingers to point to his eyes and point out towards the mist to let them know that he sees something out there, and then he goes ahead and starts riding out in that direction.
Yeah, there's nothing in front of you that you can see. As I said, it seems like there's some movement on the ground, and as you are over there, you see this something wrapped in thorns and bushes, and just kind of like stands up out of the ground, off the ground.
So Sir Oberon will dismount off of Blackjack, and he'll start walking towards it. Where on the map is it? Can you?
Do you see it? It should be right there.
Oh, there we go. Yep. Yep. Oh, I see it. Okay. Sir Oberon dismounts, grabbing his axes into his hands.
There's a groan which everyone hears. And I would say that you're all experienced enough to know what that means.
Okay, Derek's immediately trying to clamber up on the ruins to get off the ground so he can get a good line of sight for a shot.
Yeah, you could do that.
Seth will pull his whip free and take a few steps forward.
Man, Nevin, kind of seeing what Sir Oberon had been doing, slowly draws his sword and buckler as well, and kind of peers into the mist to see what is drawn his attention.
As you do this, generally you hear a lot more of these groans, and did that work? Yeah. From all around. Derek, you're surprised to see something kind of on the other side of this wall kind of start to rise, and you think you could outpace them and get through them if you didn't want to face them, but here they are, and the choice is yours. So I'll let you make the choice if you run or stay and fight.
Derek will be of the opinion we should just run through, but he'll be calling out to the others. Run or fight.
You do know that these zombies are fairly slow, so you think you could outpace them pretty easy.
Yeah, Seth will see that Derek's getting ready to go. Is anyone in any kind of position of authority in the group?
Seth will look to Sir Oberyn since he's on horseback and he seems to be taking initiative on a lot of things. Sir Oberyn, what is your call, sir? Run or fight?
Sir Oberyn looks from the top of Blackjack, and he starts reciting the vows to them. I shall protect freedom for every man. I shall shed blood for peace. I shall shed blood for peace. And he just skips to the last vow. I shall never stray from these vows, lest a vile curse takes me. And he hops off of Blackjack, wielding both of his battle axes.
Fight it is. And yeah, Seth squares up to fight.
Yep.
Okay, give me 1 second. How do I do this?
Seth will probably hear that Derek sighs as he draws his bow, but he'll do it nonetheless.
Fight again. Yeah. So situate yourself on a hex, the nearest one. We'll just do with hexes because it's just easier.
I can't. Oh, there we go. I was like, I can't separate him from his horse.
Yeah, we can just move the horse out of the way.
Yeah.
If you're not. Okay, so
They're
you're
inseparable.
not mounted. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select you all and put you on the combat tracker. Boom. That should put you on the combat tracker. Yep. So if you look at the second tab, for those who not the dock, it's the combat tracker. So let me make sure that this is correct, because there's one thing that's a little weird. Okay, you're gonna be fine. Evan, you are initiative 3. That's correct for you. Looks like I did do this, but I just want to make sure. Initiative 2, yep. And then Seth. Initiative. Okay. Yeah. Okay. It's not. Okay, it's 0. Okay. So if you go on here, find your character and click the die, and it'll roll your initiative for you.
I get a level 1 bonus set. Is
It
that
should
plus
all
3?
be. It should all be worked in.
Oh,
Yep.
awesome.
So click it, and we'll see. You'll see. So go ahead. You do it first, Wander, just so we can look at it.
Okay.
I don't know if it displays in the
Where
chat.
is it again?
So the combat encounter, the second tab. So
Yeah.
after the chat, you see where it says combat encounters with the swords that are crossed.
Oh, I see. I was looking at my character sheet.
Yeah.
Got it.
And then so you find your character and click the roll thing. So I don't think it actually. It must not actually show. I wonder if I can have that show. But anyway, it should already be set. So yeah, 45. That seems probably pretty good. I wish that would show in the chat. Let me make a note of that real quick. Alright. Okay. And then I'll do everybody else. Okay. Alright, so it does put them in order automatically. So the horse is
That's
not.
nice.
Yeah, everything should be sorted. So there's your initiative. So the way this is going to work, when you add your APs, so if you want to add, so like just for instance, right now I'm just going to do this just to show. So if I was Derek, I wanted to do a 1 AP action. It's already set for 1 AP. I can hit the hand, and it's going to, if you scroll to the bottom, now he has 1.45. So
I see.
do this, get him back there. So now he's at 0 again. But if you want to do a multiple actions, you can just add it to whatever you need it to be, right? So I added 3, and if I hit that, then it'll add 3 to his AP, as you can see now. You should never have to go backwards, so don't worry about that. But Derek, you're up. What would you like to do? Remember, you have a level 1 sensory impediment, so every attack is going to have a -3.
Okay. Right.
And there's a zombie right next to you.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm just going to shoot that zombie.
Okay.
Can I...
So have your token selected, then hover over it and hit T.
T.
Okay.
Yep.
Then in your character sheet, go to the combat tab.
Now, if I aim, that's a separate action, isn't it?
That is a separate action, correct?
Okay. Yeah. So I just want to act first. So I'm gonna.
Okay.
Okay.
So then, where it says longbow ranged under combat, it says under the attacks, click the scroll.
Yep.
And when it clicks
Modify
the scroll,
-3.
Yep, correct.
Okay. And difficulty?
There's no difficulty. It's auto baked in the range.
Okay. Good to go.
So it says point blank. So okay. So now if we look at the attack, it says we can see there's a global modifier of -3. That's correct. It's point blank range. That's correct. So so we see the BSV is 25. So it's base success value of 25. Then we look at the roll, so 8k4 -3, and it shows what the rolls are. So its base defense is 10, so your total is a 25. So basically the way it came up with that is point blank range has no range dice, right? So that's not subtracted. You rolled a 35. Its base defense is 10, okay, which seems high for a zombie, but it is 10 on here, okay, and then so your result is 25. Now, you see where it says damage 6 pierce? In the chat window, chat window.
Yep.
Click the scroll after that.
Okay. And kick the roll.
Okay. 6. So what you do is, why didn't that? Damage for longbow. Oh, maybe that didn't do what I thought it should do. Did it auto add it? So you rolled 35 minus 25. Sorry, this is weird. Let me just try something real quick, sorry. Just remember you rolled a 25. Or your result
35.
Was 25.
Oh, it was
your
25,
result,
yeah.
Your result was 25.
Yeah, got it.
So I do that. So my result's 20 in this case. Or 10 actually. And then yeah. That's more correct. No? But it's plus 11. What the hell? It's not adding it together. Yeah, because so the roll was just the location. What the hell? That's not the way this is supposed to work. that's all correct. Oh. So when you click the damage, just do it again. Just everybody can do it on this sheet just to show you. There's a spot that says BSV, so you add your BSV in there. So if you want to just click the damage again and add what was your original one, 25, right? Yeah. So put 25 in there and click it, and I'll show you what you do. Okay, so now you have 31. Now drag it over, and now I'm going to drag it over to the zombie. Let's see. So now that one's automatically dead. Okay, so I just dragged it onto its token. Sorry, there's been some changes, but yeah. So you shoot it point blank through the head, and it. Or actually through the torso, we'll just say through the neck, and it just like careens over and it dies immediately. So how does that look?
Pretty much as you said. So he pops up here, and as he's waiting for the call and what to do, he's already kind of covering that zombie, and it's hard to miss at this range. So as soon as Sir Oberyn makes the call, he just puts an arrow straight through his neck. It's just efficient, businesslike.
So on the tracker, hit plus on your guy until it comes up to 3, which is your standard attack, and hit the hand, and then it'll auto do everything. Yep, perfect. Now you go to the bottom.
Got it.
All right, cool. So zombie 8, they're going to move, and they have a flaw. Sorry about that. That was, you move slowly. Yeah, he spends an additional AP. So he's going to move, they're just kind of clambering. So he's going to move 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that cost him 5 AP. So boom, 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 boom. So that one's done. Zombie 2, same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. Zombie 5, where are you? Over here. 1, 2, 3, 4 for 5 AP. Okay. Zombie 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. Zombie 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it does get there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it is your turn, Sir Oberyn.
Well,
as
Sir
this
Oberyn,
zombie gets right on top of you.
Yeah, he stood there watching that zombie kind of shamble its way towards him. While it was on its way towards him, he kind of cranes and works his neck out a little bit, does a little bit of a flourish with his axes, spins them around, and as soon as that zombie is right next to him, he brings both axes down on top of the zombie.
So you're wanting to do a 2-weapon attack, right?
Correct.
So that is on page 96 for anyone who wants to look. So what you do, open your sheet, hover over what you're attacking, click T, go to your combat tab, and you should have weapons there, right? You have your the 2 battle axes.
Correct.
And I think, let me see, there might be something you have to turn on for 2-weapon attack. Hold on, let me look at one thing real quick. Ambidextrous is just a trait. Okay, so what you're going to do is when you click the scroll for the first one, and you pick which attack you're going to, so under the hardship section, you're just going to put a 1 there, and it's going to look like this, just so you can see. I'll post that in Discord. So it looks something like that.
Yep.
Because you get 1 hardship instead of 2 because you're ambidextrous.
And where do I put the hardships? I'm sorry.
Look in Discord. Do you see the one under
Oh,
HDSP?
yep, and
And a
it's already there.
-3 in the mod too, actually, because it's dark.
Okay. Okay.
And then when you're ready, just go ahead and click on the roll button at the top. Perfect. So, yes, that is a hit. Your BSV is 10. Go ahead and click on the scroll in the chat under damage. It says damage 9 other. This is your other damage weapon, right?
Yep.
And if you click on that scroll, then click on the axe you're looking for under BSV. Go ahead and put 10 in there.
Okay, that's in.
And then hit the roll button again. -7. How did that happen? That shouldn't be right. Protection.
Sure.
Oh, they have protection, do they? Didn't think they did. Combat. They have no protection. So what happened? Torso. Oh, you targeted yourself.
Oh, I thought I was.
Yeah. So what you do is you open up your sheet and hover over what you're attacking and hit T.
Oh, I got it. I got it.
So just try the whole thing again.
Yep. Okay.
I was wondering why your BSV was so low.
So this is the first one at -3, hardship 1.
Yes.
Okay. There's that one.
Okay, cool. That looks more like it. So on the blue, hit the little scroll.
Mm-hmm.
And
then I'll pick the other axe.
Yep.
BSV 10.
No, BSV is 23.
Oh, 23.
So look in here. It says BSV, and under green it says equal plus 23. So that's what you put in there. Mm-hmm.
And then hit the dice again.
Yep.
There we go.
Perfect. So TSV. How is it only? That doesn't make any sense. Again, that does not make sense. 4 bludgeon. Oh.
Do I have to pick it?
Did you put the BSV in the thing?
In the little pink box, yeah.
No. So see, watch. So if I click and then on there and then I attack. Okay, so I think this is kind of goofy because here, let me do something real quick. Sorry, this is taking a little bit, but so I changed your axe names to 1 and 2. So basically you should under the damage, if I let me show you. Okay, click this. Oh, come on. Why is it doing that? Now it's bugged.
I'm going to try it again from my end?
Yeah, go ahead and try it again. I know it's why, because I changed the name of it, but target it.
Okay, put it on there. I hit T.
Just do the normal roll.
Okay, and then I'm going to use weapon 1. I'm going to put hardship 1. At a -3. Roll the dice.
Okay, so BSV, that looks global modifiers 23. I think it's because it didn't. Okay. Here.
I changed the modifier to -3.
Yeah, yeah, I think here, we'll just do this, okay? That one's gonna be dead anyway. I don't want to. I know what's going on, but I just don't know how to fix it offhand. So, you kill that one. How does it look? And there's no need for a second attack. So.
Yeah, after Sir Oberyn does his flourish, spinning his axes around, the instant it walks up to him, barely even looking at it, he just swings both axes and takes his head off.
Yep, And so in the combat tracker, go to your dude. He's at the very top, and click plus until you get a 5 in the red box, and then hit the hand. Yep. Perfect. Nevin, and then you're at the bottom now. Nevin, you're up.
Nevin is going to kind of cautiously move forward here as the zombie horde kind of shambles towards him. So he's going to move. If he, 3 hexes is 3 AP?
Yep, unless you run.
Yeah, we're just going to move forward 3.
Okay.
Kind of close to Seth and Derek.
Okay. And your combat tracker, move it up to 3 and hit the hand. You went 4.
Lips.
There, I got you. I can fix it. Okay, so the next zombie is 1, 2, 3, 4 for 5 AP. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The zombie 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Zombie 6. Where's that one? Zombie 6. Where are you? Okay, right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Seth, you're up.
I will move 2 for 2 AP to right here.
Okay. And then you should be able to, and then hit the hand. Yep. Blackjack is not in this combat. I don't really know how to remove it. How do I remove it? I know how to remove it. Delete it for now. And Seth, you're still up.
I will go ahead because my whip has reach, so I think I can hit from here on
Yes, you
zombie
can.
1. So I'll slap him up.
Yep.
So he's targeted, and then I hit whip from my.
Yeah, combat on your attack, click that scroll. And then just put a -3 modifier in that box. Okay, so now in the chat menu, click the scroll, and it'll bring up your whip, and then under the BSV, put 12 in there. The one thing you might have, okay, no, that's not right. So protection 0 is 3 plus 12. What's the 3? Let's see. 3 is your bludgeon. 12 is the BSV. Minus 3. Oh yeah. Okay.
Location,
Location. Hit him in the
right
arm. So 12. So it does take 12 damage. Let's see what that does to the thing. Okay, it kills it somehow. How does your whip kill the zombie?
So Seth pulls the whip out and hits this thing and separates the shoulder basically from the right arm shoulder down into the torso, and it just folds in on itself and lays there. Whatever dark energy is propelling it gone.
Yep. So in your add 3 and then hit the hand. Okay, Derek, you're up again.
Okay, so Derek is trying to just take out the nearest ones. So as he looks around, he decides that Sir Oberyn could be threatened by Zombie 2, so he decides to take a shot at that one.
Yeah, go for it.
So let me target that. And where am I? Longbow there. Modifier -3. And roll.
Okay, so then click on your scroll in the chat window, and you're going to add 13 to your BSV. Yes, perfect. So 6, which is your pierce damage, 13, which is your BSV, and no other modifiers. And that was 2 you shot? Drag it over, it's dead. How does that look?
So the same thing again. He's just taking a deep breath and targeting just above the collarbone, but kind of base of the throat. Actually, not collarbone, the base of the throat, and he just takes it straight through there.
Okay, so add 3 to your AP count.
And Sir Oberyn, after taking the head off of the zombie that was next to him, turned to face that other zombie that was walking towards him just to see it get taken down by an arrow. And he looks over at Derek and just smiles.
Derek just gives him a little nod.
All right, Nevin.
He's going to continue to just kind of cautiously advance, allowing the zombies to kind of shamble towards him. Moving forward another 2, so let's add 2.
Okay. Zombie 8, which is this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's as far as they can get for 5 AP. Zombie 5, which is here, going to go towards it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Going over to Oberyn again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Zombie 9, obviously. 1, 2, 3. He's going to move where this dead guy is, but boom, right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then Oberyn, you're up again. Coming right to you.
Yep, and Oberyn seeing another zombie just kind of trudging along, stepping over its dead, partner or whatever they call them. Their people.
Zombie buddy.
Their zombie buddy. Oberyn just gets a smile on his face. He grits his teeth, and he swings his axes again.
Yep. So target and then swing.
Modifier -3.
Yes.
Hardship.
1 hardship, yep. Okay, so click on the scroll and then in the BSV add 27 and make sure you click off of there after you put it in. Just to make sure it sets, because sometimes if you alter, this is a Foundry thing, if you alter a field and don't click out of it, it still counts it as 0. I think that's probably what happened last time.
That's probably what happened. Yeah, I didn't click out of it.
And then we'll see if that works. No. No, that didn't work. It's gonna be dead. So what you did 27 plus 9 damage. Is what it's going to be. So that's plenty enough to kill it. But I don't know what's happening with the rolls for you, but we can look at it. But yeah, it's dead. How does that look?
Okay. Yeah, and as it walks up, he just takes a wide arc, kind of spinning his whole self around and bringing the axe horizontal across the middle of the zombie and just slicing it open across the torso, and it just folds backward on himself and crumbles next to the other zombie.
So go ahead and add 5 to your. You don't need to attack again, but go ahead and add 5 to your thing, and then hit the hand. Nevin, you're up next.
All right.
I'm guessing you're gonna do some magic.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what range I have on that.
So, baseline range is... I don't know.
It's touch plus 2 hexes per level.
Okay, so right now you're not in range. You can extend it for 1, 2... You're kind of far. 1, 2, 3... Well, let's see. What's the draw tool say? You're 4 hexes away from that zombie. You're 4 hexes away from the either nearest zombie, Oberyn, or 8 or 5. So that would be 2 additional levels.
Alright, I'll just get closer and do it next time. So let's see, 1, 2, 3. And slowly keep walking, trudging up cautiously.
Okay, yep, that's right. Zombie 7. 1, 2, whoops, wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4. Comes over this way. They are slow boys. Zombie 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come right there. Seth, you're up.
He will step over this dead zombie for 1 AP.
Yeah. So you could do the move and attack if you wanted to. That is something you can do.
He's in no hurry.
Okay.
Looking around, Seth sees that these are.
I think you're gonna go
being
next
rather,
anyway.
Yeah,
honestly.
he sees that they're being rather easily dispatched, so he's in no hurry.
Yeah.
So he will take my 1 AP move.
Oh, Derek's 6. Oh yeah. It's,
Mhm.
4. Oh, 5. You're a 0-6, not a. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Derek, you're up first.
Okay, so Derek sees these two zombies are getting pretty close now. So he takes a couple of steps around here, still on the top of the wall. I don't know whether I need to make a roll for that.
No.
Okay, yeah, so he moves around there, knowing that it will take them a little longer to get to him now.
Yeah. Okay. Was that 2? You moved 2 hexes, I think.
2 hexes, yeah.
Yep, so just add 2, and then Seth, you're up again.
Try to hit 8 with my whip.
Yep.
Just crack the whip on him.
Go ahead and, yep, 16. That's gonna kill it. I'll drag it on though, just cause that's fun. And it is dead. How's it look?
Strike it in the torso with the whip, and the flesh was weak, so it kind of bursts and falls apart. Rib cage and everything falls out as this thing collapses into a heap of meat.
All right. Add 3, and then Derek, you're up.
Okay, so Derek is now going to target the remaining zombie. Yeah, he's higher than Seth, so he can easily fire over him.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
Okay, mod -3.
Okay.
Oh, your range dice are not the same as the range to the target.
Did you get some sort of error?
Yeah, I'm on range dice medium. Should I go on point blank?
Oh, you should not
Wait.
have to even mess with it. It should automatically do all that for you.
Oh, interesting. It came up with a warning saying, a warning popped up saying your range dice are not the same as the range to the target.
Yeah. So you actually should have. So I'm looking at your roll. If you click on the actual roll at the bottom, the R8 key 4 -3 -2,
Yeah.
2H. If you click on that, it'll expand the roll so you can see exactly
Yep.
what it is. Close, so you should be close. I'm pretty sure. So you should actually, your BSV should be 28. Yeah.
28.
So
Okay,
did you set your range manually?
No.
Okay. We'll look at that again. I don't know what that would be.
Okay.
Do you have that
28.
still in your screen, or did it go away?
No, I still have it on my screen, but I did try setting it afterwards.
Can you copy it? Can you just
Yeah.
copy the message? and just
Oh
send
no,
it to me?
it popped up and then went away.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Go ahead.
Actually, or maybe I just missed it. I don't know.
That's
but
fine.
it was like a yellow band. across the
That's
screen.
fine. That's fine. Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay. Very dead.
Okay.
Another one is shot down.
Hmm.
Oops. Do that. Okay, and add 3 to yours, and then Nevin, you're up.
All right, we're gonna hit both of them because I can get +1 target with 1 level. So.
Yep.
Do
Sure
I
can.
hit T for both of them?
So, let me see how this works. I don't think. I think this is not. So you're doing exorcism, right?
Yes.
I think this is something we have to do manually for now. Go ahead. So go ahead and make your essence roll. And then it should, when you make an essence roll, it should ask you what the difficulty is. Let me just let me look real quick. If I click essence, it doesn't. Hold on. Where is magic exorcism? Okay, I can't roll. Yeah, just making sure you can't roll off this. I've not really played with this any. Okay, just make an essence roll, and it's gonna ask you basically how many. Just put two hardships in there. It's the same thing. Because you're just doing one extra level, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it's two. So two hardships. Just do an essence
All right.
roll, two hardships. Okay. So, oh man, those are bad magic dice. That's only one surge. Yeah, okay. So you're fine. So they take 19 damage plus what is
10.
the 10? So they both take 29, killing them both instantly. So what happens?
So
Oh,
as
actually,
he's
they don't take 29. Their magic defense is. I mean, it's. I just want to be correct. They take 27. Okay.
okay,
Yeah, they're
yeah,
both
'cause
dead.
it says plus 10 other damage to undead
Yep.
per level.
Yep, they're dead.
Yep. So he kind of swings at their sword, but they notice, and for the first time, because they've never really seen him do anything, it's almost like this white pure light kind of is encompassing the blade. As he hits both of them, it's not terribly damaging or overpowering, but the light seems to almost incinerate them, and they kind of both collapse to the ground in a puff of yeah, dust and white light.
And it doesn't seem like there's any more movement. It appears that you've wiped them out. You guys can roleplay as normal.
And
Yeah.
Sir Oberyn will walk over next to Neven, and he just kind of kicks at the dust that he's left there in piles. The dust collects on his boot a little bit and looks over at Neven. Oh, good job. Good job indeed.
Derek hops down from here. As so often, he doesn't say too much, but as he goes past Seth, he just turns around and nods to him. And then as he catches the eye of the others, he does the same. And then he just moves out a little further forward and starts just scanning for more danger. He never assumes that the danger's over.
Nevin sheathes his sword and looks at the remains of the re-dead, the zombies, and looks at around the mist, of course, being what appears to be the source of so many problems for these lands, and nods his head to his brothers. Shall we continue? A little more alert, I would say.
Aye, this is what we're here for. This is what we should be doing. Not running. Never running.
Derek just shrugs.
One thing
Well.
you do notice on these corpses, they all have, well, not all of them. Some of them have these identical necklaces with a holy symbol on them. You can give me a lore check to determine if you know what the symbol is.
Sure.
That's under knowledge for those that don't know.
Difficulty?
Difficulty is hard, we'll say. Seth doesn't know about these religions. He only cares about his.
Correct.
Derek's not even trying.
Look
Yeah,
at
I'm
that.
not going
You
to
could sell
embarrass
that.
myself.
Yeah, you don't know what they are. You have a suspicion there's some sort of holy um, icon because there are so many in this area. But you can do what you want with them. They are probably silver, and they could
Yeah,
probably fetch some money potentially.
Sir Oberyn, he bites on it, sees if it's malleable at all, and kind of shrugs his shoulders and sticks it in his pocket.
You can find 18 of them.
Seth will take one as a curiosity. He doesn't have too much of an interest in selling them, but he'll take one.
Derek doesn't touch them. He's always superstitious about anything that looks religious.
Nevin,
And
you gonna tell
As far as you know, he's not particularly religious himself, but he's very kind of either wary or respectful of virtually all beliefs.
Okay.
Seeing
And-
that some have been taken, he doesn't take any, hoping that they can identify what the symbol is later, perhaps back at the keep or someone with a little more knowledge.
And Oberyn, as he sees his brothers walking past and ignoring it, he just goes through kicking the bodies, pulling the silver chains off of all of them, shrugging his shoulders, and just sticking them in his pockets as he goes.
Yep, you collect 17 of them, where Ghost has one. Yeah, so you have all these, like, you put them in your coin pouch, which is probably empty or close to it, and you stick all these trinkets in there as you continue.
Oberyn whistles for his horse to come back, who was off in the distance somewhere, and he puts that coin pouch in one of the little side saddles and secures it there as he starts leading Blackjack rather than remounting. He just grabs onto the reins and starts leading and just continues walking with his brothers.
Okay. There's nothing else. So this one. 1 second. Grab you guys real quick. Okay. You see that new map?
Yes.
Yes.
You head through this area, and about an hour later, you pick up the road again, or another road, towards where you think this village is, Hound Grove. You head into this area. You kind of hear in the distance a faint sound of what would be a population. You do see some flickering lights in the distance from lanterns and torches and such, which gives some. It's not. It wouldn't be enough to light your way, but or help you like in combat or anything. But it does give you kind of an idea of what's out there and where this place is. You can kind of see it in the distance, so you have a place to go to. The one thing, the odd that you do kind of hear that's much closer is apparently it sounds like a violin.
Derek,
And you're starting to get tired, so you wonder if it's getting to be pretty late.
You're saying the violin's coming from closer? in the
Yeah, it
village?
seems to be closer. Yeah.
Yeah.
So once again, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say that Derek sort of says, "Don't let down your guard just because we're close. That's always when they get you. You think you're safe, and then." And he sort of cocks his head on one side. He's obviously listening for where the violin's coming from, and he's suspicious.
It seems to be coming from down the road somewhere.
So once again, Sir Oberon jumps up onto his horse, and he starts moving ahead towards the direction of the sound, so see if he can get a better look.
Is the violin sound like it's being played well, or is it just something?
Very well, yes. Mm-hmm.
And Seth listens to it, and he nods and kind of bob his head along with the music. Whoever it is has quite the talent.
Yeah, and Oberon's just like in a full like trot now, just trying to find the source. Just look, like I said, look ahead.
Yeah, I know you can see the full map. It's coming from over here towards this Vardo over above to the north side of the map. Everybody can I'll just move you guys over there. Are you heading towards the violin? Everyone?
Yeah. Derek's being very cautious, but he's trying not to let people out of sight.
I mean, I stayed
urging
on the
people to
path.
stay
but
together.
You teleport over. Yeah, you start kind of heading in that direction. You do see that there's a, you can kind of make out smoke from the mist a bit as you kind of clip, clap, clip, clap, Sir Oberon as you get closer. And the violin just keeps going. And as you get closer, you see a man seated, probably, actually, he's not there. He would be seated over here. This Vardo is basically a wagon that it looks like has like an attached kind of like stall to it where you could sell wares and goods out of it. But the violin's not coming from there. It appears there's a little camp behind the wagon, and that's where the violin's coming from. And you can easily see back there. There's a man kind of seated cross-legged, playing the violin, just looking into the fire. And yeah, he doesn't appear to notice you or care. Maybe it's hard to say.
So Oberon jumps off of his horse and leads him in rather than riding him. But I can't.
I think he's underneath you.
Yeah, I can't.
Or you're underneath him here.
Yeah, there we go. And yeah, Oberon walks into the camp, leading him, and makes sure that he makes noise so that the person can hear him coming in.
Get your horse off my fire. No, I'm just kidding. He doesn't he doesn't actually look over at you. He just keeps playing.
And Oberon notices, that he's playing the violin. He nods to the man and then nods over to the log. May I have a seat at your fire?
He kind of stops for a minute. He's, oh, yes. And he blinks a few times and, where are you from? Are you from the town? He immediately stands up and kind of walks over to this cot, and you see that there's apparently an infant in there.
And Oberon, now I can't separate him from the horse. I move Oberon and I move the horse.
Just hit escape. Hit escape. There, I'll move the horse over here for you.
There we go. No,
Hit escape. Hit escape. It'll
I
unselect
did.
it. I don't know, man. You should be able
Yeah,
to
I
hit
know.
escape and it'll do it.
Yeah, I just did it. Did do it. Anyhow, Oberon walks up and he stands next to the fire. He sees the baby and he will not do any harm. We're not from the town, but we did just fight in the graveyard. I would like to heat myself up here and rest if I can.
Certainly, He looks over your shoulder and sees the rest of you. He looks a bit nervous, and I have very little, but a fire and perhaps some ale and dried meat I would share with you.
Seth approaches. You have nothing to fear, good man. We're from the Order of St. Eustace. We would no sooner harm you, a seemingly innocent man, than we would a fly.
I'm sorry, I'm not not aware of your what did you say? The saint of some saint? I'm sorry, I am not that that knowledgeable about such things. I do apologize.
We are something of, let us say, do-gooders. Pilgrims. Travel to
Do-gooders.
right wrongs and sort issues. We would mean you no harm.
Am I correct in saying that you guys just would forego any knowledge lore checks because you're all gonna fail miserably? It
I mean,
seems.
I'll try it.
Yeah,
But
sure, sure. You get another hard one.
I got a 2.
Oh, okay. You got a 2.
Well, 2 in knowledge, a 0 in lore. There's a shot.
Yeah, you could roll 10 and a 10.
Yeah,
It's possible.
I'll try it. No.
Negative. No. Yeah. Yeah, but what you can do, Ghost, is you can roll a healing roll. And this would also probably be, well, from here it would be hard. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that. If that works, I'll do that instead.
Yeah, you could do that too. It's for something different, but. So it's a success, with 7 levels of success. You are pretty sure this baby looks very, very emaciated. It looks super pale. It's not moving a whole lot. It does seem to be sleeping, but definitely sleeping very fitfully, taking short breaths, like kind of like panting almost. Yeah.
Seth would see it, and he would take a step and. Oh, might I ask your name, sir?
I am called Andro.
Andro. My name is Seth. I do not wish to intrude upon your business, but your child there seems quite ill. I have some skill with healing. Would you mind if I took a look?
Uh, she has not been eating. Um, she's only she's only a week old. You see, my wife, you know how it is. Unfortunately, she passed away during while giving birth to the child. Uh, you may look at her. I am the town. They won't help me, but perhaps you could. You say yes. You can look at her.
While Seth's going over there, Derek, ever suspicious, is quietly sizing Andrew up. Is there anything off about him? He never trusts anyone at first meeting.
You can do a read person.
Okay.
That is under should be empathy.
Empathy, read person. Not great.
Yeah, you got one.
Okay.
You do not. I mean, he just seems a bit nervous,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
talking to strangers, have a sick child, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Four armed men
Okay.
walked into his camp
Yeah.
with he has a
Yeah.
baby.
He doesn't. He
Yeah.
doesn't
So
seem really armed. You see, there's a club kind of over by the other tent,
yeah.
but otherwise, he has a little like fillet knife.
And
Okay.
Oberyn's looking him up and down as well. He sees um oh goodness, what's his name? Derek. Derek looking at him. So Oberon just takes a little bit of a closer look as well.
Oof.
Oh yeah, that's a really good roll. 4K. Yeah, yeah. You think he's completely legit of what he's saying. He just seems to be extremely nervous, probably for the reasons that you would be expected. Like four armed men just walked into his camp and he's got a sick baby.
So Sir Oberyn, he looks at him, seeing how nervous he is, but getting a feeling that he seems sincere. When was the last time the babe had some milk?
I've tried to feed her goat's milk on several occasions, and she has no interest in taking it. It's been 3 days now, I think. Each day it's little and little, a little less, a little less. Uh, I don't know what to do.
And why won't the townspeople let you in?
I, Unfortunately, they don't like my kind. I'm a stranger here.
Hmm. And Oberyn just looks into the flames.
Perhaps you could talk to them. Perhaps you could. There was a maybe someone there that could serve as a wet nurse. I could. I am very handy. I'm a carpenter by trade.
Yes, well, let Seth look at your babe. See if there's anything he can do. We'll talk to the townspeople.
Thank you, thank you. What's Nevin doing during all this?
He's just kind of looking around, maybe not getting close to the baby, but just odd considering what they just dealt with on the battlefield, that he seems to be so, I don't know, calm, serene, playing the violin. He just kind of is being quiet and letting the others do the talking on how to proceed.
Sir Oberyn walks over to Blackjack, pulls one of the chains out, and walks back to the fire, and he holds it up to Andro. Have you seen one of these before?
Sorry, I don't know what that is.
Mm. He goes and puts it back in the pouch.
Derek is just casting what may seem a casual eye around the camp, but he's taking in everything and just looking for anything out of the way. The guy's done nothing in particular, but this is just how Derek always is with strangers. He didn't survive all those years by letting down his guard.
Yeah, you don't see anything that would be out of the ordinary. Andrew looks over at Seth and. Oh, that's not good. Okay. Look over at Seth and shakes his. I'm sorry. He looks over at Seth and looks at the baby and says, "Yeah, you may look at her. I hope that something can be done. Perhaps she's just hungry, and talking to the villagers will take care of everything. I don't know."
Perhaps. For now, might I see the goat's milk if you still have it?
Of course. And he goes over and to his wagon, kind of keeping an eye on you guys as he does, and quickly gets something out and brings it back over. And he says, It's not spoiled yet, I don't believe. I purchased it the other day from someone in town, someone actually that took my money, but I paid probably 3 times as much as I should have. And he hands it over to you.
I check to see, make sure it's not spoiled and it's good. Like
It's
they
pretty
can
close
see.
to being spoiled at this point, but not quite.
Yeah, Seth will. So I'll look over the baby just to see if there's anything other than the baby won't eat, type of thing going on. If the baby looks sick, if there's something that happened like in childbirth.
You, based on your previous healing roll, and you see nothing physically wrong with the baby, besides it's clearly malnourished. It's young, a couple weeks old, and it's just kind of showing the signs of not only being like malnourished, but also being like exhausted, even though it is sleeping currently. She is sleeping. It's a girl.
Do I know if the fog has any effect like that?
You
As far
could
as making
give me
people.
a arcane roll.
Yeah, Arcana. Yeah.
Yeah, Arcana. Yeah.
Difficulty.
Horror. No, that would probably be mundane, honestly.
Okay.
Um, no, you don't think there's anything that you've ever heard about that. Now the blight does have some strange properties sometimes that people can't account for, but you've never heard of anything like that.
Okay. Seth will try to get the child, try to rouse the child, the infant, and try to get them to have some of this milk.
Yeah,
To at least
you're
get some
able
food.
to wake her. She starts crying, and it will it's like a wine skin, so it kind of has like what would be kind of a nipple. And you put it in her mouth, and she may drink just a little bit of it as you put it into her mouth and kind of force some liquid into her mouth, but she doesn't seem particularly interested in it. She doesn't like suck. She doesn't want any more. She kind of, with her tongue, pushes it out of her mouth and then quickly falls back asleep.
Yeah, Seth. He looks a bit confused because normally, I mean, he hasn't probably seen a great deal of babies, but normally they're very eager to eat. And he hands the goat milk back to Andrew. This peculiar behavior.
I know. She won't take anything.
Derek, with more wariness than tact, says, "Was there anything untoward about the child's conception or the pregnancy? Could there be a curse on it? Is it hungering for something darker than milk? I've known worse."
He frowns. What are you talking about?
Could the child be cursed?
He just looks at you incredulous and doesn't really respond.
What, you think babies can't be cursed?
And Oberyn looks over and says, "Well, I think the only curse on this babe was being born in these lands, being born to a father who is not accepted in the city. This babe needs milk. It needs fresh milk. I think
hope
that
you're
will
right.
do it."
I hope you're right. I hope that is all it is. I've just seen some things. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
Andrew says, "Excuse me, are you? If you go to the town, I would appreciate it, but I am feeling quite fatigued." And he kind of scoops up his violin and walks over here and kind of sits it down, and then kind of lays in his cot. He will take her with him and kind of brings her with him and gets in. I must sleep for a little while at least.
Sir Oberyn looks at the others. Is it not our calling to protect exactly these folks who have nothing, who need our assistance?
Depends who or what they are. But I'll take your lead.
Seth, he nods to Sir Owen, but he looks at Derek and then to Andro and begins to wonder because it was all rather sudden, and it's all strange to Seth that both of them are so lethargic, tired, even if it was later in the day. Have I heard of, maybe not related to the fog, but have I heard of anything like this? Like, since Derek mentioned it, curses or illnesses or anything that have to do with, like, lethargy that would affect multiple people contagious? Like, he's confused about
I
both
mean,
of them.
there is a truth about curses. There certainly are curses that could be put on various people, and or just curses based on things that happen. It's hard to say what those curses manifest as. So it's hard to know what it might look like. Being tired, potentially, maybe, who knows? But curses are a real thing for sure. You are quite certain of that. But
Yes,
what
Seth looks to.
what they are and how they work, it's very different based on what the curse is, why it is, that whole thing, right? It's
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Seth looks to Derek and then looks to the two that just went to lay down, and he keeps it in the back of his mind and stands. Perhaps we will find more answers going to the town and speaking with them. It seems strange that they would not allow this man and his newborn into their midst.
Yeah, I mean, we're assuming that it was cruel, but perhaps they know something we don't. I just, I always keep an open mind.
Yeah, Seth will put a hand on Derek's shoulder. It is good to be vigilant.
Yeah, when he says he keeps an open mind, you think it's actually he keeps an open mind that something bad might be happening. That's about.
Yeah,
Sir Oberyn, he just kind of lets out a sigh. Well, either way, whether they know something or not, we don't know anything, and if they do, let's find out.
Agreed.
Yeah, by the time you're like ready to leave, like Andrew's essentially asleep. And you can tell he's got this like short kind of breathing just like the baby does.
That don't look right to me.
Hmm,
He just shrugs.
there could be truth, and as they're walking away, and I'm not in earshot of Andrew and the baby, but he nods to Derek walking alongside him. There could be some truth in what you say, whether they know it or not. It is strange that they are both so exhausted, but he did also lose his wife, I presume, or at least the woman who gave birth to his child. Could be exhausting, emotionally.
Yeah, yeah. So he says. Yeah, and he doesn't say it with any particular malice. It's just, this is just his standard way of approaching life.
Or perhaps he's simply a father trying to protect his child, even if he knows on a kind of visceral level something's wrong. He's still going to try and protect his child.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe he knows something bad's going on and doesn't want us to kill the child. Could be either.
Well, again, like I say, the only way we're going to learn anything is by going to this godforsaken town.
On your lead, sir.
So Oberyn starts walking in the direction of the town.
Okay. I'll switch you over there. You head towards this small town. There's probably, let's say a dozen buildings, and this is part of it. And people are out kind of doing the things that they do. Some are planting crops that actually can grow with minimal sunlight, which is very common. It's almost like mushroom type stuff. And there's a couple people, about, and they kind of see you, and some of them rush, oh, there's someone's here, and a couple, what you would think of guards or whatever, armed men come and walk in your direction. And as soon as you enter the town, more or less, and one says, "Halt! Who goes there? This is Hound's Grove. We're peaceful folk. We want no harm, no trouble. Well, state your business."
Derek looks across to Sir Oberyn.
Sir Oberyn just steps forward and looks at the militia. Hello. We're just here looking for some fresh milk, some food, maybe a wet nurse. We have a babe out in the field that needs attention.
Ah, Andro you speak of.
Well, I spoke no name. I just said there's a babe in the field that needs attention. Are you going to help us or not?
What do you know of Andro?
You should speak to the captain.
Well then, either point the way or go get him.
One sec, I'm trying to fix something. Okay, there we go. And at that time, this door opens and a guy kind of steps out and says, "I'm the captain. Captain Etelkar of Houndsgrove. Raised and bred here. You want to know about Andro, is it? The man is a thief, and he is Vistari, and we don't take kindly to Vistari here in Houndsgrove. He's not welcome here."
And Harriet turns to Sir Oberyn and goes, looks like you're right. Prejudice, fair enough.
And Sir Oberyn looks, well, Captain Edelcar, I'm not here for Andro. I said the babe needs milk. The babe isn't a thief. Let us have what we need and we'll be on our way.
We already sold milk to Andro.
Well, the amazing thing is, babes eat more than once a day. The milk is gone. It needs some more. We're here to get it for him.
Can you pay?
He pulls one of the silver chains out and tosses it to him that he collected off of the horse.
He looks at it and, fine, another wine's skin of goat's milk. That can be done.
Do you have a wet nurse?
Well, how about, why don't you give me, I tell you, there will be a wet nurse here if someone burns a fate point. There could be a wet nurse here if you burn a fate point. Someone? Anyone?
No.
Nah, that wouldn't be good for you.
Oberyn will burn a fate point for that.
Okay, I'll remove a fate from your character sheet. He says, "Aye, there is a woman that, well, she's not a wet nurse, but she gave birth and is nursing. But I'm sorry to say that that is her prerogative if she would do this or not, and I'm very certain she will not."
Seth will go next to Sir Oberyn. Sir Oberyn, might I make an attempt, sir?
And Oberyn smiles and nods and kind of does the little flourish with his hand, like pointing, like, "Be my guest."
Captain Etokar, thank you for hearing us out. I am Seth, and these are my companions. We are with the Order of St. Eustace. We try to do well by the land in these difficult times. Might I make a proposal to you, sir?
And what would that be?
Houndsgrove, as your men said when they approached us, seems to be a peaceful place that prefers it to stay that way. So I am to assume that you are all good people. I understand that Andro may have committed a theft and is perhaps somebody that you wish not to be in this town, and that is your prerogative as you live here. But the babe is just a baby. If there is any way that you could find it in your hearts to care for this child, perhaps even if Andro could not be here alongside it, would that be something that you consider? Andro, I understand, do not wish to be here, but must a child be punished for the sins of his father?
Dear Vistari, Andrew himself has never done us wrong yet, but they are a wicked people. Long ago, they came to these lands and killed many of our ancestors. Ha! I do not trust them. Likely he is up to no good, and uses this baby as bait for some nefarious plan of his. He is lucky we have not gone out there and slain him, or run him off. Him and his damn violin every night, all night long.
All night long, you say?
All night long. Perhaps you would help us be rid of him. That we could pay you even. If you run him off, take him elsewhere, it matters not. That damnable violin all night long, it is hard to sleep. And I tire.
Captain, what is it that he stole? You said he was a thief.
All Vistari is a thief.
So this is assuming that he has stolen something because of who he is.
He will.
What he is.
He will if he has not yet. We do not let him inside without being watched. But they are tricky, and they have their curse they can throw upon a person. The evil eye, they call it.
Captain, when was the last time that you ever interacted with the Vistari? Were you here when they attacked, or was this
No,
many
it was
years
long.
ago?
It was just in my grandfather's time.
So you have never had any dealings with them?
I have, but few, seldom. There were some that came, 10 years ago, maybe. We ran them off. No
Do we
blood
know
was
any?
shed.
Do we know anything of these people?
I think your lore checks earlier to see if that was the case was a failure, so no.
We don't know shit about
Okay.
fuck, Derek. We know nothing. Captain, this is... You are not a man of the past. You are a man of the here and now. And here and now there is a man and a baby that are out there, and they will die if you do not provide some kind of assistance for them. I'm not asking you to take in. If you truly despise this Andro that much because of who he is, it is your town. It is your choice. But think of this. Think of a child out in the woods dying alone. A baby. Think of it if it was your own child. Are you a father?
I am.
Imagine your own baby out in the woods, hungry, starving, and a town is a stone's throw away who has an opportunity to help this child, save this child. Perhaps if you find Vistari so distasteful, this child could be raised here, and you could show them a proper way to live, if that is how you feel. But no matter how you feel about Andro, please do not forsake an innocent baby.
Why don't you give me a persuasion or rhetoric, whichever you would like, skill check with a benefit, because I think that's a very convincing argument. So yeah, and your difficulty is hard because he is very prejudiced against these people.
I'll do persuasion. They are the same. Let me make sure I don't have an ability.
And you
or
can
something.
you can spend a fate point to add another benefit if you would like, or how many other benefits you would want. That doesn't impact your casting at all. Spending doesn't.
Fate just goes off of your fate total, so 3.
Yeah, so you could spend up to 3 if you wanted.
I'll spend 1. And this is hard. And
Yeah, hard.
1...
You get 2 benefits for one for the role play, one for fate points. I wonder if there's.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay, so 15, that's with that's a success. He says, "Fine. You may talk to Tina and see what she says. I will aid you. Let me go speak to her, and perhaps I can convince her. She is a soft-hearted girl. She is my cousin. And from the looks of her chest, she has much milk to give.
You
For
are
the
a man of
baby
grace.
only. I will give
You are a
him
man of
nothing."
grace.
Darrett looks across at Neva and is like, did he really just say that about his cousin? Ugh.
Neven kind of
Hmm.
leans
Hey,
in.
the pool is very, very. There's not many in the pool. A cousin is good.
Look, everyone's
Aw.
related here. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Kissing cousins.
Let's not. This baby is the best thing that could happen to them because the baby's
Yeah,
not
it's gonna
from
give
here.
some genetic diversity.
This is a massive win for the longevity of this place. Just saying.
They're gonna be taking some flaws Deliverance style pretty soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he you wait here, and he points to his men and just kind of walks off, and they kind of give you some. They kind of walk off as he goes in this door here. Walks in there, knocks, and then you see somebody open the door, and he goes inside. Leaves you there if you want to talk amongst yourselves for a few minutes.
Did I see Sir Oberyn getting pissed off this whole time? I assume.
You tell.
Yeah.
You know, he can tell.
Yeah. Seth looks to Sir Oberyn. Am I to guess that you are frustrated at his behavior, sir?
Frustrated at his behavior. I was about to take his head. Your face might be bitter, but your words are sweet, Seth, and he is all the luckier for it.
I think that he introduces a level of suffering that is unnecessary to the world, but it is his city. What we can do, Sir Oberyn, is try to at least save the child and maybe hope for a brighter future.
He is someone in power, and this city has safety. His city does not supersede my vows, and my vows are to help that helpless man. Again, he is lucky he listened to your sweet words.
I don't think we can fix all the ignorance and prejudice and injustice in the world. Just a thought. Happy to try if you want, but don't expect to fix everything. This is every place I've ever been to. There's always something. People, well, they've all got their issues.
The keep we're at, what sort of state of disrepair is it in? I know it's kind of run down.
Your keep? Oh, it's in very bad disrepair. It probably couldn't keep out a flock of sheep these days.
Nevin, who's been quiet for most of this, finally kind of pipes up. The man says his trade is carpentry. Perhaps if this town will not take him in, we could use him at the keep to help begin building it back up into something more suiting for the order.
It is a sound strategy, Nevin, but I wonder if you will be keen on aiding us if we are able to convince him to give up his child to the same people that hate him so.
It doesn't have to be permanent. He could always come back for the baby when it is better nourished and healthier. That could make the trip to our keep.
And I'm certain the captain will be all too happy to part with the babe, given his attitude. At any rate, I think that for us to introduce what we might consider justice to this place, we might inflict more harm than good, Sir Oberyn. For the captain's attitudes might not represent everyone's here, and not all of them are so heartless, I imagine. We would have to
Well,
shed innocent blood if we were going to right wrongs of this place, and that would perhaps not be in accordance with our vows, sir.
my only intention would be to take the hearts of the heartless ones.
Personally, I think if we judge everyone by the standards of, well, true innocence, well, wouldn't be many people left in this world. As far as I'm concerned, if people aren't actively murdering, then, well, they're better than some.
I don't think allowing a babe to die in the field is too high a bar. Anyone who would allow that has already sealed their own fate. They're not worthy of this life. The only thing they are worthy of is my blade.
If you say so. He shrugs.
And Sir Oberyn just stands there, staring at the dirt, looking at his axes, waiting for this happen to get back.
Yeah, and not long after, he does, and in tow is a woman who appears to look normal. She has, a pretty standard bratty dress on for people in this area. She walks with the man, and he says, "This is my cousin, Tina. It is up to her. I have explained things to her, and she has agreed. But you will bring the babe here without her father, Andro, and he will work for us as an indentured servant for 1 year. And we will take care of the babe, feed it, this entire time until it has grown to be hale enough to leave. A debtor's debt."
Seth nods, and I have your word that he will be treated fairly here while he is indentured.
He will be given a place to live. He will be fed. His daughter will be fed. That is all.
Does it seem like he's telling me the truth?
Every person. Challenging on this one. Anybody can
Gentlemen,
do
I'm
it.
not. Okay, good. I was about to say, gentlemen, I'm not good at these,
Um,
but I did get. I apparently did get it.
You did get
Holy
it.
fuck!
You think? Wow, what a roll! Holy crap! A
Wow.
29, a 31. Wow.
Read like a book.
Yeah.
I am paying attention to
Whoa.
this guy. I
Yeah,
do not
you
like
are.
him.
You
So,
are. You
Oberyn
you can
hates
see
this
inside
guy.
his soul.
Oberyn is looking him up and down and looking for every kind of cue he
You
gives.
think Oberyn, just being a very keen judge of character, seeing a lot of these type of people, of all kinds of people in your travels, you're very experienced in dealing with people, apparently, and you think what he says is generally true, but you don't think it would be very fun for Andro living here. He would certainly be a second-class citizen. They wouldn't treat him kindly, but you think that if he would actually work for them, him being a carpenter, that's a very, very, very handy skill. And you think that they would keep their bargain as long as they were able. Um, yeah.
Okay.
Meanwhile, by the way, I'm scanning the town, looking for anything
Yeah, most people,
amiss.
you see, most people are kind of have left, went in their homes while, this conversation hasn't been exactly quiet, so they've probably overheard some of it. It's not a very big place. So they're just getting out of there, going in their homes, kind of hiding away, besides the militia there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, just to explain Derek's attitude, he kind of expects people to be assholes to each other, and as long as there's no supernatural evil going on, he thinks things things are about as good as they can get. So yeah, he's still looking out for worse stuff than this.
Did he give me the wineskin of milk already, or has he still not brought that?
Um, he has not brought it yet because he's just been talking to her.
Mhm.
I kind of assumed, me personally as a GM, that this kind of superseded that, having actually a wet nurse to do it instead of the goat's milk, because he wants some sort of payment if that's. Oh, you did give him the cross. He would do it if
Yeah.
if you still wanted the goat's milk. He would
So
get it for
yeah,
you.
Oberyn looks at him. All right, well, you give us the goat's milk I've paid you for. We'll take your word back to him. Let him decide if he wants to come here and work under your thumb.
Aye, very well. And he actually snaps his finger, and one of the militia, that was listening nearby, kind of goes off for a few minutes and comes back with a wineskin, brings it over to you, and just hands it over wordlessly. It's as you take it, receive it, it's definitely full of something. If you kind of check it, it is goat's milk. They're not like trying to pass it off as anything else.
Okay, Sir Oberyn will hand it over to Seth, who seems to know more about taking care of. He hands it over and says, "Here, you are better with the babe than I."
Yeah, he takes it, and then he will nod, and he will almost half bow to the captain and his cousin. No matter the outcome, I appreciate your grace in this matter, and hopefully I shall return with good news and a good outcome for everyone.
Aye. Hopefully the babe will be raised by someone else. If the man would die, we would take her in. Perhaps we would even take her in if he would give her to us, and he can flee and go on his way.
Let us stick to our present arrangement. Seth looks to the others. If there is nothing else, we should take good news to Andrew, I think.
Yes, let us take this milk and the news of possibly residing here for the time being while his babe returns to health.
And then Sitoberlin turns around and starts walking away and just mumbles under his breath, "What?"
Derek walks up next to Seth and says, "Sir, what will we do if the baby won't take the milk?"
If it doesn't take the milk from the wet nurse or this goat milk that they gave us.
Both.
And Seth thinks about it, and the baby has to eat, right? If the child doesn't eat, then it will perish. As for Andro at that point, I imagine he will not be bound. Their arrangement would be undone. I do not know what we would do after that point. Hopefully the child simply takes the milk.
Let's hope.
If not, then it would at least be an end to the child's suffering.
Yeah. Yeah. And he looks thoughtful and kind of tails off.
As you head back out of town along the road for is a couple hundred yards away probably, you hear a violin playing sweetly in the distance. You've probably been gone an hour. You hear this violin playing, and you head that way, and that's where we're going to end tonight. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say the last thing that Derek says is to Seth as he goes, "You know, something still ain't right. Who plays the violin while their kid's dying? Just saying."
Yep. And that is it.